Hi everyone, Tiffany here, and welcome to my quilting life. Today is Sew Sunday. Time to get some sewing done because it's Sunday, and Sundays are a day for sewing. Time to have some fun. Get it done. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and a bell will pop up. Hit that and get notifications when I'm live, which is every Sunday for a fact, and the rest of the time is just whenever I post videos. Other than that, don't forget to like my videos and share them. We got hi Vicky, hi Tanya, hi June, hi guys. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I was like thinking it was still scrolling on the thing. Hi Lacey. So as most of you know, if you watched last night's midnight, late night ramblings, I started triangles. I really wanted to make an all triangle quilt. So I'm making an all triangle quilt. It's not a big quilt, it's a baby quilt, but I'm making it. Why? Because I can. And I'm only using, this is how it makes this fun. I'm making what I can, as big as I can, with 5 fat quarters and 1 yard of fabric. That's it. That's all I gave myself an allotment for this little project on the side. Hi, Maggie. So that's what I'm doing. So now I just need to sew it. Last night I just picked the project up off the floor because, well, every day I vacuum, not every day, but every Sunday we vacuum. So and the girls playing around, so I didn't want it on the floor for them to mess it all up. So I put some of it here and some of it over on the ironing board. So hopefully it's not too much out of order. It'll be okay. Hi, Sandy. I'm okay. I have a headache today. One of those, every noise is killing me, but it's eased up through the day, so it's not as bad as it was when I first got out of bed this morning. Holy moly. So I'm just living with it. I figured I'd get some sewing done, and yeah, that'll make me feel better. Because it always does. I just didn't have everything ready. I thought I had it all good, but anyway. So let me move my mouse over out of the way. And I am going to start sewing my triangles. And if you haven't noticed, there's only a couple of the blue ones on here. The ones on this end I moved because they made a mess. They were just making a mess. So what I'm going to do is alternate all my rows by 1 row starting with 2 triangles, 1 row starting with 1, off and on. That way they all still stay staggered, which they should, hopefully, because I still want that staggered look with all these throughout it, and you guys could see that. So okay, so let's just get some sewing done. To make my triangles, I did use 4.5-inch strips with my, I don't know how well you can tell, light right here, my big huge half hexy equilateral triangle ruler that I have. Hi Cyrus, I see you on there. Hi Pamela. Hi June. Oh, I already said hi to June. Yeah, I surpassed. I was on last night. I had $4.99, and I said I'll be over 500 today, and I was 514 now. Well, it was 513 before I got on. CJ's on there. He's the one that says spooky duper jingle.
I'm gonna change that.
That's his YouTube.
My YouTube.
You gonna come in and say hi to everyone?
No.
No? Why be that way? He's weird. He's a teenager. What do you expect?
I watch
How
anime.
are we going to celebrate when you go over top what I have in subscribers? That would be awesome.
Am I allowed to?
How are we going to celebrate when you go over? I'm going to do a live to celebrate and make something fun. That's what I'll do to celebrate. My celebration for 500 subscribers is going out to eat with the husband. But we don't have no more of those numbers going out to eat. Next number is 1,000. So as soon as I hit 1,000, then we can do something fun. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll do a giveaway. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna start sewing triangles. And if you haven't sewn triangles, that's why I'm gonna do it from this row, which is closest to me. Those of you who do not know and have never done triangles, they just look like they're at funky angles because they're triangles. But if you pay attention to what you're doing, you shouldn't mess it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this first piece and I'm going to put it right sides together over the other one, like that. And this is the side I want to sew on, my right side. So these ones have the little notches cut out. So every single piece should line up just right. And I'm going to sew down that side real quick. And I am going to finger press all of them in this row towards my left. I'm going to start, usually I go right, left, but this time I'm going to start with the left. And now I'm going to take this piece now because it looks funny. It looks like a 60-degree diamond now. And I'm going to lay it back right here to make sure this is the part where it's nice to have the project next to you unless you're, you know, absolute beginner. This is the best way to do it. You sew it and you could accidentally go, wait, hey, how does that go? You know, you could just, so you do it like this. So that next one, I'm going to pull up towards me, right sides together. So that way I know that this is the seam I'm sewing. Just in case. And everything should line up. That little notch now is meeting in my seam allowance. So now I'm going to sew this one.
How does one change the profile picture for YouTube?
I have no idea. That's why my profile picture is the one it is, because I don't know how to change it.
Oh.
I scrolled through. I don't know how to do any of that. It's probably under settings or something. And again, I'm going to flip that seam to the left, creating this perfect, beautiful little point tip right here, which you guys probably can't see that well, but like I said, the camera thing will be figured out someday. So I'm going to lay it back where it was, just like that. So now I have this one. And technically, if I just put it over like this, as long as I'm grabbing from the side I need to sew on, it makes sense. That way I'm not making a big, huge hangover on that side. So I'm going to grab from the side that needs to be sewn. I'm going to line it up. Everything should line up with my little notches cut out. And again, I'm going to finger press it to the left, which will be up right now because it's the position of my piece. Lay it back. And I'm just going to keep repeating this over and over and over again. So right sides together. I'm sewing this side right here. So I'm going to bring it up over to me. And however it makes sense to me is the way I will line it up under the machine and sew it. Just a lot of flip flop and move around. So it goes back this way. And I forgot to start with my 2 blue pieces, which I will just add right now while I'm at it. So I'm just going to grab 2 blues and one's going to go here. I'm going to put 2 on this end. That way I don't forget that one goes on the other end because I'm getting ready to do one. So I'm going to just slide 2 on right here. Okay. So how is everybody doing today? It's a beautiful Sunday, nice and hot, just the way I like it. Just gonna sew these 2 on. That way I pretend that I actually started with 2, but I didn't. With these equilateral triangles though, as you can tell, they are built by the row. So they are built by rows, even if you're making other things with them. All right, so now that's back. Let's get to this next one. So I know that this sews on this side. So you'll have some weird pieces hanging in it. It would be funny, but they should all line up. Some people press the seams open for triangles. I don't really bother pressing any seam open because of the whole, when I go to quilt it, I have noticed in the last 4 years of quilting that stitch in a ditch on an open seam spreads the seam open and it compromises the seam. So I definitely don't honestly, unless it's actually asked of in a pattern or something, I don't press open ever. I just press to one side or another. So I know that this piece goes here. So I'm just going to keep bringing them up to me. I know it's a lot of off and on thread breakage, and I'm pretty sure there's probably ways to chain piece this. I'm not sure though, but there probably is. Never tried. I have done the rhombus, but the what they call rhombus cube. But I did that with Y seams, and I never actually finished that project. And when I was in my huntings cleaning my room the other night, I could not find it. I have a feeling it's in the box in the garage because I got frustrated with it, and it's just been sitting out there in a box saying, "Don't ever sew me again." But I will sew it because I'm like pro with Y seams now. Let me tell you, that whole that big huge Mariner Star Quilt, absolute pro with Y seams now. Let me tell you. So this one was hard to tell which side was right and which side was wrong, but I think I got it. Pretty sure it wouldn't matter if it wasn't, because it's one of those fabrics that you can't tell. Sometimes you just can't tell, and that's okay. Everybody disappear? Did my live go off or something? Nobody's talking. What's wrong with you guys? Just pressing. Pretty sure you guys are fine. It's just one of those days. It's a lazy day. That's what Sundays are. Sundays are lazy days. But lazy for me, I sew. Sunday has become the dedicated day for sewing, no matter what. Unpicking swap blocks. Oh no! What happened? I can tell you I'm tired. Tired. Yep. What happens? You've probably been doing something all day too, make you tired. Been chasing the babies. That's what, playing in the pool, dealing with a headache, wishing I could nap. All right, one more on this end. So this end will end with 1, start with 2. That's how I know. That's what I'll do. This is a make it up as I go project, like always. I did, however, pull in a customer quilt that I need to do today. Not today. I don't have to do it today, but another customer one. So that should be fun. Design another quilt. All right, so this is row 1. I'll stick it right there. Now this is row 2. I'm going to attach just 1 triangle on this end. That way they can stagger. And I'm not going to hook the rows together until I have all the rows made, because I still want to make sure my staggering works to create this look that I have going on here. So I'm going to start with these 2 pieces, but I'm only going to put 1 on this end for now, even though both ends are still going to get the blue to elongate them, to make the quilt longer. Now this one I will, let's see, yeah, I'll push it to the right. So grab the next one, put it on here. I don't think it's really going to matter when I go to sew them together if it's right or left. All right. Oh, we got some comments. Let's see. Where we at? Where we at? Eating a late dinner. Pamela is. Lacey, people don't check before they send them in. Some of them for way off, so you have to reseal them. Oh, that sucks. June's just chilling at 1:30 a.m. there. Holy moly. Sleep time, huh? Maggie spent all afternoon driving home from Maine. Woo-wee. Traffic was bumper to bumper and a parking lot. It was birthday weekend, and your kids took you out for lobster on Bailey Island. Interesting. Well, happy birthday, Maggie. Or belated or whatever. If it's your birthday weekend, obviously it's somewhere right now. Except for traffic. Yeah, I don't do traffic. We don't have traffic here. Like, not like you guys would think. There's barely anything here traffic-wise. This, where I live, is no traffic, which is good. Everyone's saying happy birthday. Maggie's saying thank you. Marcia, hello. You started making my big star quilt. Ooh, that's a fun one. I love that one. The one I did in batiks, right? The huge stars. Oh, that one is so beautiful. I can't wait to quilt it. It's still hanging on a hanger. I didn't get to it before the summer came because I had like 4 quilts left that didn't get quilted before it got too hot and I couldn't quilt. So on the long arm, but that one is definitely going to get quilted this winter. That is first in line. But that's definitely a fun one. So you're gonna have to share that one in the group when you get to that part and the need to share, because that one's a fun one for showing us how to make such wonderful quilts. Well, you're welcome. All right, so I'm just going to keep going, adding these and sewing them. You kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm moving them around and stuff and back and forth and up and down and around, just so that you can see that I'm making sure I sew on the correct side. I don't want to sew it to this bottom side and go, oops, now I got to pick it up. Because unpicking ain't fun. And Lacey can tell you right now, it probably is not. It's time consuming and annoying. So now this one will go here. I have thread. I just vacuumed my room. I got to get used to this not throwing thread right here on the carpet. I have a bad habit of just dropping it on the carpet. And I have a little trash can right here, and I don't think about it to drop my thread in the trash can instead of on the carpet. Even though thread, no matter what we do, thread is all over the carpet. That's why I don't like carpet in sewing rooms. That is one of my things that I just do not like, but I can't change it because, well, this is my room, and if I tried to move everything out to not have carpet, then it would be a hassle. So carpet is good for when I get down on the floor and have to put quilt tops together. All right, so that one goes there. Again, I cut 4.5-inch strips off of, I got 3 strips because my fat quarters weren't big enough. They were like literally like 1/8 of an inch at one edge and 1/4 of an inch at the other edge, or else I would have got 4 cuts out of it and had a little bit bigger of a quilt top. But I cut 4.5-inch strips, and I got 3 from the fat quarters for 5 fat quarters and 1 yard of fabric. This is my own like side project / challenge. What can I get out of 5 fat quarters, just a little bundle, and 1 yard of fabric? And you guys are going to see. So as a side, like a gift or something, if you guys want a baby shower gift or something, you're going to know if this is going to work with 1 yard of background fabric and 5 fat quarters. Because all you'd have to do is buy a fat quarter bundle and 1 yard. And that saves money, and then batting and backing, of course. But a little baby project that you can sew or quilt on your home sewing machine. That's the cool part about these little baby ones, that I can show free motion quilting videos from sitting here with the regular machine like this instead of having to long arm them. So that's another reason for getting little projects done. Have something that I could show you guys how to do. And triangles are always a fun thing to quilt. Yep. Making sure my seams are all going the correct direction. And now I'm building this way, but I'm just making sure my piece goes the way it's supposed to. Just tried my first pantograph, and needless to say, I'm ripping. Hi, Linda, by the way. So you just did your first panto on the long arm and you're ripping it out, huh? I actually have never done a panto yet. I told my daughter to draw me up some kind of single line thing that's kind of, I wanted her to challenge me by drawing it to where, whatever. She hasn't done it yet, because I would have just hooked a bunch of pieces of paper together, had her draw something. She's really a good artist, so have her draw something and then me follow it with my laser. And I have yet to do it, and I don't want to pay $13.99 on up for a panto when I already know how to stipple, I already know how to swirl, I already know how to, you know what I mean? I wanted something that has like butterflies or spaceships, or something that I can further myself, because I already know all the other stuff. So yeah, I've not tried it yet, but I have the laser and stuff to do it. Well, hopefully you'll get it correct. I mean, ripping, especially on the long arm, that's really hard. It's more than really hard. It's annoying to have to rip it out when you're on the frame. So best of luck in getting it ripped out and starting over. What kind of pantograph are you doing? Is it what's the word? I'm looking for a word. Is it hard, complex, or simple, easy? That's the word. Is it something that has lots of loops and curves, or is it really like a 1/4 inch in between each line? Is it something like that, a hard, tricky one? And obviously, you know, just because I have not said anything, if I look that way, I'm looking at the screen to read. If I look this way, it's because I'm looking at you guys. And you guys know me. I tend to like to look at you face to face, as if we're right in the same room talking. Other than my sewing and have to look down part, but I have the fan on, but I'm sweating. I don't think the fan is on high enough. It's kind of hot in here right now. We just vacuumed and yeah. All right, so this is that side. I just have to remember that. So I'm going to turn it around and stick it right here. See, and I don't want these to line up like that. Those two don't look right next to each other. So I'm going to have to make sure that that goes this way, like that. So when I go to sew it, my end piece will be on this end, the pieces that I'm going to be connecting to it. So next row starts with 2. So I might as well put 2 of these together real quick. Okay, so let's grab that next one. Goes that way. So now I'm pressing everything this way. Because the last one, they all went, oh, that way. So no, these need to go this way. I'm talking to myself. These go to the left now. All right. Where was I? Yep, that way. I know saying this way and that way is probably confusing to you guys. There we go. Much better. So grab the next one. I know that it goes there. I'll tie my hair back a little. Not tight though, because my head hurts more when my hair is tied back, but I need it off of my neck because it's hot. And I'm sweating in here. Not supposed to be hard, but it'll take practice. It has swirly hearts. I was trying to do it on a king size quilt you made for your daughter. Ooh, well, it sounds like it would be fun. I'm sorry that you have to rip it out. I don't know what to say. I know that they make all sorts of things to follow pantographs easier. Like they have that, what is it called? Quilter's eye, where it's a screen with a camera that's on the back that follows the laser, and you just follow that. I think that would be kind of hard though, because it doesn't see it in full. When you're standing over it, you see it in full, and it's expensive. But I'm pretty sure it would help some people, but again, on the expensive side. So standing on the back is probably a lot easier. There's other things that could probably be done for more laser following, like maybe on my old frame, I used to have this pencil thing, like you could put, it had a stick and it was to follow a track, but I would stick that pen down and I would follow instead of following the track, I was using it like as if I was writing. Maybe you can try holding down instead of using the laser, hold down at the little thing as if you were writing to move it, because it still moves the frame in the machine. So, I mean, there's probably a ton of different things. Hi, Dewana. Where are we at? Oh, Linda, not supposed to be. Okay, my eye just started twitching again. Sorry, Lacey. I was dealing with that not yesterday, but the day before. Even with my medicine, I have trigeminal neuralgia, and my eyes, my cheek, my jaw. You guys have probably noticed my jaw twitches actually a lot. It twitches constantly. The medicine hasn't ever really slowed that one down, but my face was going all twitch crazy the other night. Sometimes it's highly annoying. Okay, I am going the correct direction. All right, next piece. So now I'm just bringing them up to me. Like I said, if I knew there was a way to chain piece these, I probably would do that, because this just, I don't know, seems over and over repetitive. Stop, start, stop, start. Yes, it's going to be a beautiful little baby quilt. Autocorrect is a pain. Don't you hate? Didn't get that far before you realized you needed to give up. The machine seemed to move smoothly, kind of jerky. Oh, so moving following a panto is jerky? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done one. I had the track thing. Oh my God, what was it called? It was just this little thing that you put the pin down in and follow the track instead. I didn't like it because it moved around too much on the back of the frame on the table. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm just used to free motioning, I guess. That's my thing. My suggestion, though, would be just take a break after you're done ripping and come back to it later when your mind is fresh and clear and you're not mad that you just had to rip all of it out. Boogie board. It wasn't called the boogie board, but it's like that. It was like that. It was another name from the Grace Company. Groove board. No, Groove board. Groove. I don't know. It's been way over a year since I had it. I got rid of it when I got rid of the frame. I got a bigger frame. Maybe it was groove boards. It could have been groove boards, but I didn't like it. It was dumb. I don't know. Groovy. Yep. Yep, that's probably what it was called, the groovy boards. Really retarded. I used the pin thing, though, to follow and write a name because I didn't know how to use a pantograph. I'd never used one of those either. So I just drew on paper. I wrote my name, and then I just used the pin thing. I put it down on the tray and followed that instead, just to see if I can do it from the backside. Maybe it's just I'm not used to quilting from the back side, and I like to be on the front side. I don't know, because I'm short and I can't reach. If anything happens or tension gets messed up or re-hooking the thread, it kind of is a little bit harder for me being short. Yes, it was expensive, very expensive, but just for all the new pieces, like the original part I got was a 5-piece track thing, and anything extra I ordered was like $59.99 for another track set. So I sold it all together though, but never again. I'm not doing that again. And I didn't want to keep it for the new machine. I just let it go. I didn't care. I did get a laser though, a new laser for the new machine, but haven't used it yet. Haven't even plugged it in. Don't know where it plugs in. You could take the belly bar off. I've seen another short lady do that, but only because she floats. I float all my tops too, but mine is different. My closest one to my belly is actually my backing, for my backing, and my top, my quilt top is actually forward before that. So can't take it off. I take the other one off though for when I use my ruler foot or my ruler base. That way I have just a little bit more and it doesn't hit nothing. I take that other rail off because they just pop right off. Okay, next row done. Now I gotta remember this side that I'm on is actually that side. So I'm gonna flip it around and lay it over here. Now see this big huge gap like that? I'll have to figure out how I want that to sit because I don't want everything to angle one way. I want an equal amount. So, all right, I'm just going to grab these from the top like this because I don't want to have to keep bending over. Just going to stack them one on top of the other. That way my next piece is the next piece. And this row starts with just one. So I'm going to put this like this. And I'm just going to grab the next piece and sew it on. Keep losing my pedal. So this one is going this way now. Grab the next one. Trying to keep them in somewhat of an order. Yeah, 90% of the time, Lacey, I float all of my tops. The only time I roll them is if they are, some of the ones that I've rolled are because it was an old top and I restored it. So I did roll it up because of the stretch, because it wasn't pieced. I mean, it was pieced correctly, but it stretched so bad because the fabric was old, you know. I did roll up one of my customer ones because I didn't want the sides that they were kind of bowing, and I wanted the tightness of it to stay rolled up. Let's see. What's another one I rolled up? That's it. I think I've only rolled up 3 quilt tops ever. The rest have always floated. Ever since I got a long arm, I've always just laid it on there and quilted. Yeah, I know that my quilt show ones that I want to do for quilt show, I'll probably roll those instead of floating them, just to make sure everything is coming out great. And nice and tight and stays flat and so on and so forth. These kind of seem like, what's the word? This over and over flipping and back and forth thing. Seems like they take a lot longer than my average normal speed through sewing. I do have to say, if you're using a directional fabric like stripes, there is no way to keep those going the same direction unless you fussy cut them and sit them a certain way in the makings, because there is no way for that to stay straight with these equilateral triangles. Because some of these, two of the prints that are in here have stripes in them, and they're all going different funky ways. They're slight stripes though, but it's okay. This one. It's coming out really cute though. I like when I just randomly decide I want to do something, and I randomly wanted triangles. But I didn't want it set up like a rhombus or, what's the other one? Kaleidoscope style. I didn't want it set up that way. I just want to sew them together. Okay, so this now goes here. And I'm going to come grab that other one. How do you fix a vintage quilt? Well, it depends on the vintage quilt. Honestly, with that one, Dewana. The one that I did, the guy said it was 1930s to 1940s fabrics. The whole entire outside was horrible. It was all hand pieced. So I left everything, all the blocks and stuff, I left those hand pieced. I left all that alone. I just straightened some stuff. So there were some areas that I had to take the sewing machine. I just folded it over and sewed it, but I didn't want to compromise the fabric too much. But all of the borders, they were absolutely horrible, and they were pieced funky, like hooked together funky. And some of it was fraying or folded up, like it was like they weren't paying attention, and the person, sewed the seams wrong sides together, and it was folded to the front and then pressed like they didn't think anyone would notice. It was pretty bad though. And then there was a couple tears in around the bottom area. So what I did was I took all the borders off. I picked it all out by hand, just with my seam ripper. Just I spent at least, 12 hours just taking the borders off, picking them. And as soon as I got all the borders off, I re-sewed them back on. I fixed everything I needed to fix and then re-sewed it back on. I came up short, had to match two of the fabrics with as close as I could get it from my little personal old antique fabric stash, because there was no way to find it. And some of the fabrics that were in it were flower feed sack. Is it flower feed sacks? I don't know, you guys know what I'm talking about. That kind of fabric. And so it was fraying and ripping really badly. It was really old. And then I just carefully, I starched the whole thing, as much starch as I could possibly put on it. Lots and lots and lots and lots of starch. Like, I probably used 4 cans of starch to get that thing to lay flat. So I starched the heck out of it. And then after starching it, which way am I going? That way. Okay, sorry. After starching it, I loaded it. I ironed it, obviously. Loaded it on the frame, and I hooked the other end to the top rail so that it would stay flat, because I had reattached the borders, so they were nice and flush now. Everything sat really good. And then I quilted it. And I was very, very, very careful with the quilting, because if I had to pick it, it was such old fabric that every single hole that was poked, if I had to rip that out, that hole was never going to go away. Like in some times after washing, you can never tell if someone had to unpick a quilt. This was definitely the kind of quilt that you would notice if there was more than one hole poked in it. So I was very, very careful. I made sure I got my tension correct on the side. I had lots of extra fabric purposely that I loaded on the side just so that I can test everything. Yes, it was really, really, really hard to do. And the whole back, I put it just on a solid 108 flannel backing because it made it easier, because some of the fabrics were so old, they're see-through. So I didn't want a light fabric underneath, and I used 100% cotton batting in the center, but I used the unbleached cotton. That way it was like more matchy to the quilt top. And when you hold it up, every back that I thought I was going to use with it, when I held it up, you could see right through it. So I just used a unbleached cotton, and I used a really dark brown, which matched a lot of the colors that were in it, flannel backing, and it worked out perfect. It came out right. I used a Mark Be Gone on it in one area because I quilted a feather in this little, I don't even know what to call it. It looked like a star, like a Jewish star, I guess, the Star of David or something. It looked like that kind of piece, and it had a really big circle in the center. It was open, and I quilted a feather in that area, and I used my Mark Be Gone on it, and it never went away. And to this day, the person that has it, Scott's mom, she says that every once in a while it comes back up. So those old fabrics, wash away markers, do not work. So kind of sucks, but it was salvaged. Since I'm telling you guys about this, I will dig out a picture of it and post it in the group so you guys can see. That was the most recent one that 3 years ago now, Christmas. I did it for them for Christmas. So that's 3 years ago's quilt top. But I did a couple other old ones that I got from yard sales that didn't really need to be taken apart much. So, but that was the one that I refurbished. I just took it apart and put it back together again. So I'll post it in the group though. It's really, really pretty. It's big too, and it's longer than it is wide, if that makes any sense. It's really long for its size. So yeah, that's what I did. Lots of work on that. Trying to make sure all my seams are going in the same direction. Where am I? This vintage hand sewn. How do you fix that? Okay. Sounds like a lot of work. Yes, it was a lot of work. And I do love challenges. Hello, do you see the things I make? That's not even everything. I do make things like just that I don't make on camera, that are just like side things or customer stuff, or, I do my best to challenge myself. I don't know why I do that, but I do. The only thing I don't challenge myself up with enough of is like paper piecing and things like that. I have a paper piecing project that was given to me by Michelle, and it's up in a bag, and some of it was started, but I have to put all the pieces where they go and how they go and cut more, obviously, but I got to put the book and stuff back in order because it's kind of messed up. Figure out what color goes where and so on and so forth. What is what to what piece. Probably being the most challenge of all because I haven't touched it yet. I will though, someday. Hope you guys can't hear. My stomach is really gurgling so loud right now. It's making this funky sound. I might keep looking to see which way I have the seam pushed. I don't know why I keep forgetting. It doesn't really matter. By the time I put it together, it won't matter. I'll just flip what I need to flip. And I'm going to go grab those other rows in a second. They're over on the ironing board since I'm almost done with this row. You guys aren't very talkative today. I already said that though, but I'm just pointing it out. You guys know me, I like to chit chat. Talk, talk, talk. That's what I do. This one goes like that. All right, I'm gonna grab these other rows way over here. I'm gonna stick these right there because those I'm using. Trying to grab these in the same order that I picked them up. Just like that. That doesn't go right. It's probably that way because that doesn't touch. Nope, that would still line up. Look at that. That would still line up, so that's correct. Maybe another row will go better right there. Because I don't want those to line up. And I don't want those to line up. It's a 2. I could swap it with a 2. Aha, look at that. Much better. There we go. Now those 2 line up. And those 2 line up. There we go. Let's see. Nope, then those 2. So then it would have to go this way. And then it would have to go this way. And that's not going to work. Oh my goodness. We'll see about the next ones. Make sure that that blue is not my second piece and see what happens. Because I don't want those to line up.
Honey, I'm home.
Okay.
Got 2 more surprises. Okay. Maybe Keith. Well, who all do you got on him? Justin on him? You can say hi, CJ.
No, he's not today. Not that I've noticed.
Oh. I said hi. You got 17 people on, wow. Look at you go. Did you tell him you broke your 500?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they saw coming in.
And I'm going to take you out tomorrow?
Yep. Yep. They know.
Okay.
We're going to go to Chili's tomorrow. That's where we're going to go out for the date. Like, I could totally go on a date every time, but celebrating 500 is good. So it's like a fun date just because the extra.
We don't go to many places. It's where we get out, so.
Are you kidding me? What happened?
June's saying they're having another heat wave. It's 33 degrees, but it's
What?
too much for us.
Oh, that's
Brits,
because
natural.
she's in.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not
She's out of the
Fahrenheit, it's
country.
Celsius.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is in Celsius, June. It's about 110 to 115 still here in Fahrenheit. And it's death out there.
you kidding me?
Hi, Pamela.
What the heck? I must have ran out of bobbin.
How do you fix a vintage quilt? Did you answer that?
Yes.
Luana asked that a while ago.
Yes, I told them I'm going to post a picture of the one I did.
Okay, then never mind. Then you're all caught up. I was just making sure you're caught up with you.
Yeah, they're not very talkative today. Thought it was kind of odd. Usually everybody talks more. It's okay. It's easier to focus technically when you guys don't talk. I'm not the only one that's a YouTuber that has pointed that one out, though. Oh, let's see if it was the bobbin in the first place. No, it's not. What the heck? Dang it.
I'll get it. I'll get it. You having an issue?
Yeah.
I'll help you. I'll help you. Want me to put...
No, I don't wind it back up by hand.
Oh, I don't know. Just trying to help. So you learn something new every day. You don't wind it by hand.
Well, you can. I don't know if you get the right amount of tension you need. So there's one thing that Scott just pointed it out. I don't roll bobbins by hand. People probably do. That's why they put them on the machine, because it creates a certain amount of tension when winding it. If you rewind it up by hand, because a lot fell out or it rolled across the floor and you re-up by hand, you might have tension issues for that amount that you rolled up by hand. Just thought I'd let you guys know. That is why the machine is designed to roll it at a specific tightness. That's why it has all the little hooks and doohickeys and so on and so forth. So.
Hi, Duana.
Just letting you guys know.
Pamela's happy you came on. You're a good distraction. She's not feeling good today.
Well, I'm sorry, Pamela. I'm not either, obviously. My head is killing me. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Like I do every day. What pile was I in? I'm in this pile. Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. I'm not paying attention either.
If you hear anything, I'll be out there, okay?
Yeah. Where was I? Heat wave. Okay, yeah, I had to take a shower to get 5, 6 people fighting for the bathroom here. Well, I can, so everybody's gone. We took advantage of that. I'm not feeling good today, so we came on the distraction and said, hi, Scott. Maybe you and Rick should double up and save water. That's what me and Scott do sometimes. Shower together to save water, especially because here, okay, so where we live, we have, I forgot what it's called. It's a water saving. So like 3 months out of the year, so that the water company can see how much is going into our sewer and or see how much we pull from the water itself. And during those months, we shower together. That way it, so we can show that we don't use as much water. So our bill stays lower. Makes it easier. But yeah, it's water saving something. I don't know what it's called. It's so they know how much to tax and so on and charge for our normal drainage. I don't know how to call it. He knows what it's called, but that's what we do. Save money. Just like because that doesn't never fall into pool season, but I've only had to fill my pool once this year. I've never had a pool problem. Last year I had lots of pool problems. I was constantly filling and draining it. This year, I haven't had to refill or drain. Stayed really, really nice this year and clean. Okay, it's got Thursday about 91, 92, and humid. Like you, I know, but very uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't, because of the humidity you guys have there. I wouldn't be able to do it, June. 100% agree. Don't roll by hand. Yeah. Yes, definitely agree. Don't roll bobbins by hand. It's made to be rolled a specific way on the machine or bobbin winder. Even old machines have some sort of bobbin winding apparatus on them. So, I mean, it's definitely made to be wound a specific way. Nice and cool for Dewana. You could make a bunch of fake profiles and subscribe them to your channel and get the next milestone quick. You know what, Lacey? Didn't I tell you that me and my son were talking when we were talking that one night? My son and I were talking about that. How long would it take to create 100 new Google accounts or even 1,000 new Google accounts? We're like, you know what? That would be a hassle to do. You know, I can give it one more by subscribing to myself, but it says on the thing that it's like a little funny saying for subscribing to yourself. So you like yourself that much, you're going to actually hit this button. So you don't really subscribe to yourself, but it could give me one more number. It's silly. It's a silly little saying. But yeah, we thought about that, creating a bunch of accounts, but then I would just have a lame channel that, you know, with a bunch of new subscribers that aren't really existing and nobody to chit chat with. And you know me, I like chit chat, and plus the numbers come from actual subscribers who watch the videos and put the numbers up. So that would just be kind of dumb and smart the same way. Pretty sure other people have done it. But yeah, I think the numbers that are generated through YouTube itself are because subscribers watch the videos and like the videos and share the videos. So my fake accounts wouldn't do that, you know? Unless you can remember all of them and log into them every now and then and start watching videos, which would be kind of dumb as well because you wouldn't be able to remember all the names of all those accounts. One of these, or is this a, oh, this is started with a 1. I think I'm gonna have to swap 2 around though because I'm having difficulties matching that last one up, and I don't want 2 same colors touching since there are only 5 back border colors and 1 background color. I don't want them to be messed up at all. So let's see how this is gonna work, because no matter which way I lay this one, I have 2 matchies or 2 matchies or 2 matchies. So this is a single. I'm going to see if putting this single right here works, which it looks like it. And let's see if I line this down here. Oh yeah, much better. Look at that. Okay, so this one, this is the next one. I'm going to move it up just a little so you guys can see what I am creating here. And you're like, well, what about those ends? Well, I will cut those and sew them on as soon as I finish making all these rows. So this one will go here. Oh, nope, that's not going to work. Those 2 match. So I need to make sure that the second one is not a blue on this next row, that I start with a 2. So I'll start with 2 of these first. So it's not going to matter if I'm pressing right or left now because I'm moving these rows around, unfortunately, because I didn't see those lining up like that. It's not going to matter though. I will make it work. So let's see, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th piece down. So let's make sure that blue is not my 9th piece. Where am I? Vicky takes the can't find Julie a pool cover. Oh yeah, I have a pool cover on my pool. It helps. It keeps the water nice and warm, so I call it my pool koozie because it keeps it jacuzzi feeling. I like hot water though. Well, I don't like hot water. I like it jacuzzi feeling, like 98 to 104 degree water, even when it's 110 degrees outside. Don't ask me why. It feels good on my bones. I cannot stand jumping into a pool with water under like 95 degrees. Like, I don't know why. It just bothers me so much if that water has got a chill to it at all. Once I'm in it, it's okay if the water is cool, but at that first swim, can't do it. I end up out of the pool 90% of the time if it's cold. But yeah, I keep it covered. Keeps it nice. The neighbors have a palm tree, and nobody lives at the neighbor house, and nobody's been taking care of the yard or anything in it, like the palm trees, and it's constantly blowing palm tree crap all up in the pool. So I have to keep the cover on it to keep the pool semi sort of clean, or else I have palm tree crap all up in the pool. And that's not good when the baby's in the pool, having palm tree, little itty bitty pieces that are hard to clean out. You know, it's like the little feather blooms off of a palm tree. It's annoying, very annoying. You guys with me to get a cup of coffee, drinking iced tea. Sandy is taking us out for coffee. Yum. I don't like coffee, guys. You guys know that. I've said it a bazillion times. I hate coffee. But you guys could have your cup of coffee. Don't mind me. I'll be here drinking water. Just gather here to have a little more fun, and we can play in the sewing room. It's so cool. If you have ever made the 30... Have you ever made the 30 Mexican 30? Is that supposed to be an inch length? I can't tell if that's two little thingies or one thingy. Mexican quilt block, but I don't think I've ever made a Mexican quilt block. I'll have to be back. My mom's disappeared. She's in the front porch or back porch. Gotta go find her. That's okay, Sandy. Hope she's nearby and be safe. I like that Sandy don't have any quilting buddies except YouTube. Well, if I had it my way, I would have you guys, or come to you guys. I would have you guys come here and hang out, or go to you guys in other states and hang out. But I'm the only one that has crazy, weird dreams that say that I should be a traveling quilter. There probably is other traveling quilters out there. Obviously. Just coming someday. If I can ever travel, travel's my hard thing. I like having you guys here, though. I like the chit chat. So I will never stop making live stream videos. We're missing some people today. I wonder if they're okay. I just realized that. Some people that know I'm always on Sundays around the same time. Unless they're napping or something. Oh, you got... Pamela's just really realizing that June is really far away. Yep, she's a 16-hour plane trip? Well, for me, it would be like an 18-hour plane trip. That would be a long plane trip. I hope you... Did you find her, Sandy? It's got to be really hard not knowing when they walk away if they know their way back. Hello, Brenda from Canada. Okay, this one is going to get swapped with this one just to see. Maybe I didn't get it correctly. Now those two match. Go figure. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. Got to make sure that they don't match up. Those two match if I put it down this way. I am definitely need to make one that does not have those two pieces right there. That's a 1. Let's see if I put that there. That one matches. If I put that there, let's see. I can put it like this. Nothing matches if I do that. Look at that. So let's put it there. Right there. Just like that. And then this next row is a single. So it can go here like that, but those two match. So let's make another one. I'm just going to have one or two that matches up and I not have to deal with it. This is a single. Let's see if this one can go here instead. Oh, look at that. That one goes there just fine. Stay. And this will be down like that. There we go. And this one can go, let's see if these match up. Right there. There we go. That's the next row. That works perfect. Okay. Sewing room. Some iron fabric for tomorrow. Or she is not done, scared that she will. Prepare to get lost. Phones. So where's wasting money trying to get in? I'm not sure what. Yeah, she's sitting in the car with her dog. Well, bring her in. Sit her down with a cup of coffee and, or whatever, tea, cup of tea. Sit down and have Mom watch me too. Maybe she'll get distracted. All right. I'm just going to keep piecing these all the same exact way now because that way everything's just done. Done. It's taking me longer than I thought. All for a little baby quilt. Triangles take too long. That's okay. If I don't finish it today, I will finish it another day. Or later. I still have to eat. I haven't eaten yet. And it's like 6:20 in the evening. So I still need to eat some food. I had a peanut butter and jelly for lunch at noon. I don't eat much though. I'm a bird eater is what it's called. I pick that food. Little by little throughout the day I have small meals. Except for today. Just wasn't in the mood. My head hurt. on EPP. I don't know what EPP is. Sorry, I don't do like, what's the word called? Abbreviations for things. Like when people say WIP, work in progress. You know how long it took me to remember that? Or those other things for quote words like UFO, unfinished object. Why can't it be UFQ? Because it's an unfinished quilt, technically. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. You have to tell me what EPP is. How did you find Tiffany? She won't come in and she don't drink coffee. I do the same, Tiffany. Eat a little bit several times a day. Exactly. I don't know what I have to because of my belly, and it saves me on taking a ton of pills because I have to take medication to eat food. So the less medication I take to eat the food, the better. Saves on that the cost of the medication. I tried to get her to come in and sit with me, and she'll for a few minutes, and then she'll get up and walk to her room. EP, please. English paper piecing. Okay. So you're working on an English paper piecing project. What kind of English paper piecing project? Is it a pattern? Sewing isn't it very hot? It's good temperature outside. It's nice. It feels like fall. Well, that's good. She's sitting in the car as long as it's not hot. Here, can't do that during the day at all. Unless there's an AC on in your car, you can't sit in it. Nope, can't do it. I'm like thinking about tomorrow and what I'm gonna eat at Chili's because it's making me hungry thinking about a big, nice, juicy bacon cheeseburger. But then I'm like thinking the smell. Scott always gets like this fajita thing when we go there, and the smell is so amazing that I don't like bell peppers or red peppers or green peppers or any peppers or onions or any of that kind of stuff because it all messes with acid in my belly and it makes me feel sick. So I'm like, I can't have any of it. It smells delicious though. I'm thinking about trying something new. Maybe some chicken. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of weird. We go to the same places every time, either Red Robin, the steakhouse, or Chili's. Those are our three places that we go to because everywhere else is too expensive. It's for people that are not locals that can afford to come and dine at the fancy places in town. We stick with the cheap places because that's all we can afford. And even then it's pushing it, but we go to places that get military discounts. So. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. All right, one more row to make, and then I can start attaching my end pieces, which I haven't even cut yet. All right, so this one is supposed to go here. Let's see. Yes, yes, no, that matches. It's not supposed to. Okay, that one goes there. And then let's see. This one can go here. Okay. Look at that. I'm figuring it back out now because it got moved around. We had dogs tonight. Subway. Subway. Yum, yum. I had Subway 2 weeks ago. And it's 3 meals for me to have one Subway sandwich. A 12-inch sub is 3 meals for me. So I had Subway for the whole day. I agree with you, Tiffany. I don't know what half of them are. Yeah, I don't know those words. Love Red Robin burgers. Oh, yes, I love Red Robin, too. And all-you-can-eat fries. And all the quilting is getting very popular. It's Not like in the US. I found on YouTube by starting browsing, and there was Tiff in the garage making a Bargello. Yep, back then. That was just a year ago, though, because it took a while to get into the house and stuff. I'm missing something. Pattern is called Glitter by Jen Kingwell. Okay, look, I'm going to look this up while we're right here because I'm curious. Sometimes when you guys tell me about patterns, I get curious. And if I don't write it down or something, I won't remember it. So what is it? Let's see. Glitter by Jen Kingwell. Let's see what you're making. Ooh, hey, that's kind of cool. So it's paper piecing and not templates. This is kind of cool. It's like diamonds, and I like diamonds. It looks like diamonds, but with other diamonds in them. Interesting. I'm going to save that. Just because. There we go. My son asked me if I'd make some bell peppers, stuffed bell peppers. Ugh. Bleh, 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 bleh. I don't like bell peppers. Of all things. My mom used to make stuffed bell peppers when I was a kid. I didn't like them. I hated them. They were disgusting to me. Ugh. Bell peppers, mushrooms, and like Brussels sprouts, things like that. I don't like. Never ate. Don't want to eat. Don't plan on eating. I eat lots of vegetables though, just not specific ones. Something about them just I don't have a flavor palette for. All right, let's finish this up. I'm wasting time today on this one. Lots of time wasting. It's not a very big project either. I'm going to make sure that I'm not putting any two next to each other with this row. And I'm hoping that my last 1 yard of fabric will make it through the rest of this. I need enough to put my ends on. Like, 3-inch, 4-inch, 4-inch, 3-inch, blah, 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 blah. I need enough to put the ends on to equal it out. And then I just need a 2.5-inch strip for each end, for each on the sides, so that way it looks like it's bordered, but it's really not. And then I should be good. So, and I have probably about 20 something inches left because I only took off 3 cuts of 4.5 inches so far. So hopefully there'll be plenty left over for me to do this. If not, then oh well, it won't get a border. At least one side. It's only 2-sided border, just for the sides. That's it. Hey, Teresa. Let's see. Hold on, the glitter pattern reminds me of old-fashioned Christmas tree ornaments. Yes, exactly. The pin kind. Yes, those. I know what you're talking about. Exactly. Brenda, did you use the templates? No. And then keeping my fingers crossed. I've been wondering where you were, Teresa. But everybody has something to do. The only other one that's not here is Michelle, and she's probably napping. Or something, because she was up last night on my live last night, so never know. And I didn't message anybody today. Sorry, guys. I I vacuumed my room and spaced it. I like came in here, turned everything on, turned the computer on, vacuumed the room real quick because I do it every day and CJ was vacuuming. And yeah, I just totally spaced it. So sorry about that. Notification should have went through though, but I'm still here. I've probably been on a while. Yep, an hour and 20 minutes so far. Going through fabric, trying to find a new pattern, ripping your hair out. Finally found it. I don't like bell peppers either, but asked me if I would, so I probably will. So just because you were asked who's gonna make them, I hate making something if you're not gonna eat it too. Like somebody else wants it. Like the kids growing up, you know, I wanted them to eat other things, you know. So if I cooked it, like fish and things like that, even though I absolutely cannot stand eating, or I can eat fish, I just can't stand the smell of it being cooked. You know, I'd cook those things, and if I wasn't gonna want to smell it, you know, or eat it or whatever, depending on how it's cooked, I felt weird with them eating something that I'm not. Just like things that are made with lemon. Can't have lemon because I'm allergic. And a lot of stuff that you cook, like there's lots of different chicken recipes that all have lemon in them, and I'm like, I can't eat that, you know. So what's the point of cooking it for everyone else if I can't eat it myself? And everybody else likes it, so it makes it hard. So as soon as I get this on, I'm going to lay it on the floor so that I can guesstimate how long each of my ends need to be. Since remember, this is just me sewing stuff together and guessing as I go, which is really hard to teach you guys, but hey, you're learning how to sew triangles, so that's got to be a plus. Plus, it's the general idea of it. If you want to make this, you guys can make it totally the same as me, which I'm telling you what I'm doing anyway the whole time, and or you can make your own. So just letting you know that as soon as I'm done with this row, I'm going to lay it on the floor and guesstimate how long my pieces need to be for everything to be equal. And hope to God that there is enough fabric to do so. So put one more little square on here, and that leaves me with 3 little pieces left on the side, which I could probably use to my advantage if I needed one more triangle. All right, last one. I'm gonna make sure it's laying nicely. I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. We're missing Diane. Diane's probably next. She was up late too. Do you use limes? No, I'm actually, because I've been allergic to lemons all my life, I've never used limes because I'm not sure if it was gonna cause a problem, if that makes any sense. So, all right, I'm just gonna stack these on top of each other, sort of, so that I can take them to the floor. And I'll turn the camera. We don't want any of, I don't want any matching colors next to each other. No matchy. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I'm going to try to prevent that. So this is the process that I use to match things up. So I'm turning the camera, guys, and we're going to the floor. I don't know how much further over I need to be. Oh, maybe I did not come as far over as I thought. All right. So let's just lay this right here. This is not very big, so I don't need much space. I just need to make sure that every piece is not lining up with another piece. That. This. Look at that. Looking good. Oh, don't want that lining up. Alright, I'm going to swap that because I don't want it that far. Oh, wait, that's good. Right there. Okay. those match. Trying to keep it at least to where I'm not adding too much inches on the end. If that makes any sense to you guys, you're probably like, she's crazy. What is she doing? All right. So this is how we're going to do this. We're going to draw ourselves an invisible line here. And I'm just going to use my mat as my invisible line. Right? So here's my invisible line. This is as far as I want to go. So this end will only need a half of a triangle. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to guess here. We're going to get the fabric. And we're going to go, well, that side just needs one triangle right here. So that one is now matched up, right? That one down there is only going to need one and a half. So that one would be matched up. So that end will need a half. You guys see where I'm getting at here? And then, again, it's going to be the same. My invisible line for this side, I need an invisible line. We're going to use this as my invisible line right here. So that's the highest on this side, right there. So this row right here only needs half on this end. You see where I'm getting at? And this one will get one like that, and then half. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have, this is all the inches I have left. So we have to make this work. I have 23 inches-ish, 23-ish inches. So I'm going to cut a 4.5 inch strip off of here, right here at the table. And I'm also going to utilize those pieces from last night. I have 3 of them. I'm going to utilize these by chopping it off. So say this one can go here like that. And pretend, you know what I mean? We're just going to pretend for now. That one will go there. We're just pretending. And this one would go here. Just as a pretend. Do you see what I'm trying to do here now? I don't know if that's fully in the camera angle. Right. Seems save the lemons for lemonade, not chicken. Hi, Debbie. I didn't see that you were there. Okay, can you? I was late live, but I'm still here. I got up last night and turned on the video and then laid back down. Okay, so now I'm going to cut a 4.5 inch strip off of here real quick, because that's the size that everything is that I'm using is 4.5 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my half. What we're going to do is I'm going to be using the one side for the angle, as you can see. I'm going to cut another one, 4.5. So each one will have a start over, but we're going to make this work. And one more 4.5, because we're going to make this work. Obviously, my pretend pieces are down there temporarily. Okay, so I just cut 3 4.5 inch strips real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start an angle, and I'm going to measure. So this one looks like this end will only need that last half. So it will be this end that needs that angle, and it needs about 7 inches, and we'll still square everything up. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to cut this first side of an angle. You guys will see right now in a second. It needs to be, hold on, I got to look at that a second. So this is what I'm doing. So here's the yardage, right? I need this angle right here. So I need to cut from here to here. And I'm going to cut it off. From there to there. And that side of it, line it up on my 4.5 inch line. Watch out for the selvage. And then trim. So So here's the angle that I need for this one, right? So this is a lot of like just randomly putting it together. So there's my angle, and I'm going to come over, like I said, 7 inches for this row, right? But just to be on the safe side, I'll just come right here to this end right here. So I'm just going to cut right there on that line where there's the crease in the fabric. So just line me up, cut that line up, and that will go right there on that piece. So now, I know this is a lot of up and down. I'm just going to lay this here for now. That's going to go there. So now let's grab another one. It's going to be the opposite angle. So I need it to be on this side right here. And that needs to be probably, let's see how many inches. I'm just guessing here, guys. We're going to come to the end because we have that triangle. So we're going to do the same, 7.5-ish inches. So I need this end of the angle right here. Hoping this is the right angle because I didn't take it down with me to make sure. But we're going to cut it anyway. And that's the wrong angle. So let's just put this one on the side because that's the wrong angle. There we go. Because I got the wrong angle. Okay. So let's try that again. I just cut it that way. So now I got this angle. That's not that angle. So you got to watch this angle thing. So this one will fit right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that right there. You guys see how I'm doing this here? I'm just kind of making it up as I go. So that fits there. All right, let's get this angle correct again. Before I screw it up, it needs to be this way, from here to here. So let's just remember that it needs to be from there to there. I'm going to cut that out real quick. Lining it up on my line, making sure everything's correct. Okay. We'll lay that right there. See what I'm doing? All right, so let's cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more angles, something like that. Hoping there's going to be plenty here, guys. I'm just going to leave these pieces in where I put them because they don't really need much. All right, so this needs to be from here to here angle. I'm just going to leave this down on the floor until I start sewing again. Then I'll tip it up and just pick up from the floor, go back and forth. That should fit there. See how I just kind of make things up as I go? Oh, hi, Diane. I didn't even see you there. I was just saying that you were MIA. Okay. Let's see. I need that angle over here. So it needs to be from this side to this side. This is so much fun. Just kind of building and going. There's no specific math involved. Just kind of just doing my own thing. This one will go here. And then I need another one that's sort of that length, which is the opposite way angle. Making it work, guys. So it needs to be from this end up. And I'm checking every angle to make sure that I get it correct every time before I cut. And it needs to be about this long. That. And then one more for for that lower piece. It looks like we're going to have plenty of fabric here. So I need one for that end over there. Which angle is that? From the top. So this one's in and down. There. Look at that. I need to cut 1, 2 more pieces. So there'll be a little bit of waste with this, but goes here, line it up on the line, right there. And it doesn't need to be that far out, so let's cut it right there. And then some end pieces as well, some corners. Let's put one right there. So I'm going to pull this out and put this elsewhere. I'm going to chop that in half because that makes 2 pieces. It's one for that side and one for this side. See this? Isn't this cool? It's coming together, guys. It's coming together. It's always hanging around somewhere. Okay, let's see. This one needs to be from there to there. So that's that angle. I'm just bringing it up here, like, and making the angles. And I'm saving all these pieces because these could be the end caps for the rest of, like, those spots. So hold on, let me show you. So the end caps for, well, that's not going to fit on that angle, but you know what I'm saying. That way they all come to be an equal length. Like this. There we go. And this one goes here. That. So I need a couple more ends. And the way I'm going to match them up is I'm going to nest the points, obviously. So it'll be raw, funky, up and down, zigzaggy ends. You know, they won't be all perfect, but that's how I'll make everything match up, is like a pin at the beginning of each row where I want it to match up. All right, so I need one angle that way. So it comes from here down. Is that the right angle? Yep. And let's cut off a chunk for there. This one will go here. And that other opposite angle. There. And then I'll just square it up. Let's see, I need a bigger piece right there. That doesn't work. That's the wrong angle. All right, let's cut another one. This is going from out to in. Out to in. So right here. And it only needs to be a few inches. A few inches. Like that. You guys see how my process is? Screw the math. I will sew it how I want. You get where I'm going here, guys? So I'm attempting to just do my own thing. The math comes, sometimes the math comes later. Just depends. Trying to see if any other pieces are needed, and it doesn't look like it. So now let's sew all these end pieces on. I think I need just a little bit longer on that side. Let's that angle. I don't know. Let's see. Nope, that's not that angle. So I'm pushing it if that's small. And up. Okay, one more small cut real quick. There we go. That's a lot better. All right, now to sew it together. And I still have this much yardage. So that should be able to do a strip on each end. See? Just 5, 14, we'll check. And that must be the celebration thing. Yes, Diane. All right, guys, let me turn this back up and over. And I'm just going to get down off the floor, off and on the floor to pick all these pieces up and sew them together. So what do you guys think of this? This is my process of building a quilt. And you know what? There probably are lots of designers out there that this is their process. And the measurements come afterwards for like templates and so on and so forth to know how many pieces and know which way to cut it. They just add a 1/4 inch to everything because all I did was take a 1/4 inch seam away. So this is my process. Hi, Gwen. Welcome. And yes, I'm still here, guys. I'm just going to quit at 2 hours. So let's see if I can get all these ends sewn on now real quick. So I'm just going to start with the closest one to me. This goes on this end right here, like so. And I'm going to line that straight end, and the piece will be sticking out on this end. And I have not pressed anything yet. Everything is all finger pressed. So this goes on this end, just like so. And I'm going to grab the other side of this row and throw it on here. So this goes like this. Oops. Like this. And I don't really have much waste, so, which is good. Plus the leftover pieces I could actually use to make something. I'll throw it in my scraps. And I always make stuff out of my scraps. All right, so this row is now complete. Now let's attach the pieces to the next row. So this goes on this end right here. The other end gets 2 pieces. So I hope you guys aren't confused by my process, but this is how I do things. When I have to build something so that I can show how it's made or teach it or whatever, this is pretty much what I do until I know. I start building and then I know. So this goes on this end, and that's the last piece for it. These 2, and I'm still utilizing also the last of those little blue triangles and the last of the cuts from the ends of those last pieces. So it's making 1 yard work. And I still have enough for a border. So this goes on this right here. And see, the cool part about the notches is it helps this straight flat edge line up with the notch. So again, we'll lay this down. We're going to sew this on here. Lay this row back down. Everything is the way I want it. This long piece on right here, and that other on the other end. A lot of up and down here, but I'll make it work. I'll be sore later, but that's okay. So let's go from this end. And then I'll turn it around and put this other end on. I love how things like this just come together. And I gave myself an allowance of what to use, how much fabric to use, and I'm still able to do it. And if I had somebody who could write everything down, then they would be able to take the measurements off the ends so we can know an exact amount by the time I'm finished of what goes where and how much and so on. All right, this goes in these two. Let's bring the pieces up with me. Let's go right here. I'll catch the comments in a second. I'm on a flow. On this side. Find it. Open it out. Lay it back down. Only a couple more rows left to sew, guys. Lay that out. Okay, these two pieces go on this end and that one on this end. These two pieces on this side. Once I get the flow of things, it starts going a lot faster. And I'm utilizing as much of the little leftovers as possible with these ends. So if there's extra pieces or it looks a piece funky, I don't care. I'll measure from the first triangle out if I write it. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Hi, Aunt B. Let's see who else is here. Spanish can't blame. She doesn't need to be left alone. Okay, let's get this on here. She's been watching the neighbors fight and the cars go by, which is fine. Oh, buddy. All right. Put this down. Next piece. Oh, I should have made that just a little bit longer, but I guess I messed up. But that's okay. That's all part of the learning. And there. 3 more rows to put the ends on. Then I can sew the rows together. I know I'm confusing the crap out of most of you with this, adding these end pieces like this, but you'll see how it'll work, and I'll trim everything up and it'll fit just nicely. Okay, lay this down. 2 more to do. One, the other. So this so far has been quite simple to do. Not hard at all. Not much fabric use, which is a plus. When you're a cheapskate like me and don't want to spend a lot on fabric, it's like, you know, it makes it nice to know that I can get something out of what I put into it at work by a certain amount for the project, you know. One more row, then I can start putting them together. All right. This is the last row, and then I can put the rows together. And I'll show you how the rows are put together. And then I'll get off. And then you guys will see a finished product next time, or I'll come back on later, but I need to eat. So the longer I go without eating, the not good it is. Okay. Okay, let me get this slide down here real quick where it goes. It goes. Okay. So now the rows are sewn together. Let me turn this so you can see. Rows are together. Now that they're together and not just laying there, you see what I'm saying? So now I'm going to attach the rows. So I'll start with these two, and I'm going to line them up, pin it, put it together, and I'll show you how they're together, and then I'll do the rest later, and I'll come back and show you me finishing it with whatever, okay? So this is how it's going to go. So let me turn the camera back up. Every Sunday, between 5 and 7 p.m. Arizona time is when I'm on usually. But it's every Sunday. Just put it this way. Every Sunday, somewhere between 5 p.m. Arizona time to whenever, that's when I come on. Sometimes it's later. It just depends on when the girls leave. When I say girls, it's the girls that I watch. All right, so I'm going to take and bring these up here, right sides together in the way that I picked it up off the floor. So I'm going to show you just because. So it was on the floor like this. Those ends do not match. They are totally different lengths, okay? I'm aligning it by these right here, okay? So maybe it was this way. Hold on. I have to look now because that didn't match before. Let me put it back down real quick because it didn't match the last time. I laid it here. I was like, wait a second. Why did that look wrong? I probably have the other wrong end on. And I did. So I go like this. All right. So I'm going to put this right sides together like so. And I'm going to pick it up. So I had it wrong. It was like this. So this goes right here, like so, right sides together. I laid it down without turning the piece. So these I'm going to line up. Right sides together, and I'm going to start with my first pin in one of these junctions right here. So where these V's come together, like that, the tip top, I'm just going to put one pin, because it's 1/4 of an inch away. I'm going to put a pin in that V junction, and it should come out the top of the other V junction, like so. Nestle these two things together. Take a secondary pin and just hook the piece. Try to put the pin away from the thing. Again, I'm just going to come down a couple of them over. I'm going to line those 2 points up, or stick the pin in the top of the V from the back side into the center. It's 1/4 inch away, so it should line up every time. Take the pin, a secondary pin, put it in. Come down just a little bit further, same thing. stick it in at the top of the V where that diamond comes up. Put it in the top of the V of the other one. Nestle them. Take a secondary pin. Usually I don't pin projects, but I'm not putting a ton of pins. I'm going to eyeball the rest of everything. And I know where I want it to sit. So now just going to come down here. And see, they're totally different sizes. One is way taller than the other. That is okay. I just want to nest everything on the way. And I'll just start the sewing right about here. And come down. And I'm just going to lay this on here, making sure that those two V's are together. And they should be. Sew on down. Pull pins out where I did stick pins in. Put these two V's on top of each other. They should nestle right up. Two V's on top. They're really lining up. So I just been pin a couple so I know the where to situate it, I guess. So where everything lines up the way it's supposed to. And I'm gonna stick this on top. Don't forget to pull the darn pin out. And then I'm just gonna sew right to the end of the piece that's the shortest. Because that's just how it's gonna work. All right. And I am not turning the iron on because I'm just not. But I'm going to open this up so you guys can see. And I'll bring it up close. We're going to finger press it. It's going that way. So let's finger press it that way. And try to open it as best as I possibly can so that I can show you guys these points. Obviously, when I go to iron it, it'll be a lot better. But they're lined up, so that's all that matters. Stay and stay. Okay, so I'm going to come show you. So these aren't perfect. This was not a pinned one. So it's close, but no cookie. There was a pin on this one. And it doesn't even matter if there was a pin, because look, it's not perfect. See? Let's see. There was no pin on this one, but they come together. That's all that matters. Again, see, they're not perfect. And they're close enough, and that's all that matters to me, honestly. This one had a pin. This one's perfect. That's the way they're supposed to all look. Is that perfect right there? So they're not going to match up. They're going to be funky at the ends, but we're going to trim every single end. So here's just two of the rows together. And now let me lay it down so I can see which way it goes before I get off of here. Let's see, where was it? It was like this? No, it was not like that. It was like this. Ta-da! Okay, that's how it goes. So the next one, I would just pick it up and put it on there. Oh my goodness.
You still going in here?
Yep, it's still on.
Okay. You need any help?
Nope, I'm good.
Need water or anything?
Nope, I'm coming out to eat in just a second. All right. So I have it laid down on the ground. I'm going to turn it one more time so you guys can see what we're doing, and then I'll come back after later. If it doesn't happen tonight, it'll come back later. So two are together, those far ones. And that it doesn't look like that end is going to match, but I'll trim everything to one. The shortest size is the size I'll trim the whole thing to, if that makes any sense. So I probably somehow messed something up, but that's okay. So that's what I'm making here. It's funky, it's different, and it's cute all at the same time. So I don't know what time I'll be back on, guys, but I will be back in a little while maybe. For the rest of you that are going to bed, I wish you all good night. Don't forget the new of you, the new ones that have joined. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my videos. I'm on every Sunday. Let's see what else. I will be back maybe later, and if I'm not, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm going to try for later today. I just need to eat. I'm starved. So I love you all. Thanks for joining, and I'll see some of you later if I'm on later. Okay? Bye. Oh, there it is.